Purple is offering up to 2 billion new ordinary shares of the company via a public offer at 5 Naira per share. Now, the Chief Executive Officer of the company, Laide Agboola, says proceeds will be used to expand the group's existing portfolio by diversifying its new business lines to create more inclusive home ownership opportunities for Nigerians. Well, I caught up with him on the prospects ahead.
Purple is a revolutionary real estate and lifestyle business, right? Started off in 2014, so we've been going for about a decade. Purple is set to be the first real estate investment company registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and will be listed on the NJX as a PLC. The shares will be freely traded on the Nigerian NJX. And shareholders and investors will be able to participate in the offer. Our plan is obviously to create a RICO platform, a structure that has a diversified pool of real estate assets, cutting across hospitality, retail, office, residential, purpose-built student accommodation, the full array of real estate basically, and be able to offer that to the market, both the retail market and institutional markets.
Why is this IPO significant, or is this IPO significant for the market?
This IPO is defining for the real estate market. It's more than just an IPO. It's about reshaping and rewriting how real estate platforms should operate and should position themselves for the growth of the market. It's about being able to ensure that there's effective participation from the retail pool to be able to take possession of shares within a real estate investment company and be able to earn returns that fast supersede the inflationary rates that we currently see in the market.
Now, when you go to the market, obviously you're going to meet the capital market community when you do go to float the IPO, and of course you're going to get a chance to talk to some investors, and some might probably be wondering what's in it for me? Why should I invest in this Purple IPO? And from an ROI perspective, how is it different from investing in rates?
So the RICO structure is slightly different from the REIT structure. I mean, it has the same tax benefits as the REIT structure based on the Finance Act 2020. However, within the RICO structure, you then have a combination of developed yielding and stabilized assets at a ratio of 75%, and then you then have your developing asset at a ratio of 25%. The combination and the blended yield from this, with the leverage position not exceeding 25%, ensures that you then have a blended position that's far superior to inflationary pressure. So we're on a 10-year average, we're looking at an average of about 18% in terms of return on equity to shareholders. This is excluding capital appreciation.
Okay, let's break down what the proceeds will be used for. Let's get into the granular details. Exactly what's going to be your first point in terms of what you do with the money?
In terms of what we do with the money is in three folds, right? One is to ensure that the balance sheet is freed up, to ensure that we are able to then go on an expansionary drive, taking ourselves from the assets that we currently own to having more commercial assets, about 3 to 5 commercial assets on the immediate, and then also to be able to ensure that development assets are also taken to fruition on a continuous, and ensure that revenue driver grows. We're currently at about 30 billion in gross asset value. Our target is to ensure that we take that to about 80 billion in 2023. That's our 5-year target, which we are bringing to a 1-year target immediately after the elections.
Now, I have looked at your financials in the last 5 years. Obviously, you will be presenting that to, as part of course, the requirements, opening your financials up to the market ahead of this and for the IPO also. And I've seen a pretty good, strong performance in the last 5 years. But let's talk about the market itself. You've been quoted as saying that your Purple is trying to, or is seeking to democratize access to affordable housing, as it were, at property market for a new wave of investors. Could you share more insight on that?
One, there are two folds to that. The first fold is obviously on the IPO leg, because we're opening up to the retail market in itself. We've dropped our entry point to 20,000 Naira, which allows people also down the pyramid line to also be able to participate on the equity side. Now, on an ongoing basis, one of the things that we're also looking at is obviously participating on the technology side and then using a tech-enabled structure to ensure that we activate our revenue lines and also ensure that more people down the pyramid line also participate in grade A property ownership beyond just residential, but also including commercial, which means that our platform, Fractions, which we're working in partnership with Ticket Tech Africa, will be able to provide a real asset blockchain technology-backed solution to ensure that investors, no matter how much, from as little as 10,000 Naira can participate in property ownership on a crowding effect basis, which means that they'll be able to go on this platform, trade amongst themselves, and deal amongst themselves. And it will be subject and regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission. And that will be the next phase of our drive, and that will be a growth phase of our drive. Our plan is to be able to, on our own, single-handedly, working with Ticket Tech Africa, to be able to dovetail about 80 billion worth of assets onto that platform. And as we go, and we also have another 40 billion worth of assets on a third-party basis that also want to be on the same platform. So we're trying to revolutionize the industry, the real estate space. And with that platform, we'll be able to bring to the market about 120 billion worth of assets on the first go in 2023. In
terms of how that translates to actual brick and mortar on the ground, now Nigeria has a growing middle class and their needs are changing. And I see what some developers are doing in terms of what you're doing also, infusing technology, making living spaces a lot more future forward, as it were. Talk to us about that, how you are also doing that, how you're infusing technology, how for the residential market now, how you're meeting the changing needs of families who are looking to live a more what is that word I'm looking for, a lifestyle that their parents probably didn't get to live, but they want to live that lifestyle, but in a more secure environment.
Yeah. So, I mean, post-COVID, we've seen changes in habits of people, what they want to buy, how they want to live, how they want to work, eat, and play, right? And those are the things that we've also learned for. And our products have actually been prepared for that on a sustainable basis. If you look at our sustainability drives on our website, it shows you everything that we're doing in terms of ensuring that technology and elements of environmental and social governance takes a pivotal role in what we do. So our assets, Purplelekki, for example, that is coming into fruition in the next couple of months, is going to be IFC EDGE certified, which implies that all of the HSE and ESG policies and standards that has to be in place have actually already been, and that has been vetted. We're just waiting for an announcement, and that announcement will take place any moment from now over the next 2 weeks, I'm sure. So we've taken a lot of steps, cogent steps, in how we, from how water is used, to how power is utilized, to how sewage is being treated, to how technology is utilized to ensure that there's a proper living environment for everybody, or whether it's even a corporate environment for everyone. So we've taken all of those into cognizance in how we build and how we deliver our products to the market.
All right. On a final note, back to the IPO now. What are your expectations in terms of subscription levels? Are you excited? Are you nervous?
We're excited. We're actually quite excited. We think what we're doing is actually is going to change the market significantly. We expect that immediately after this, we should see more of other real estate players or other capital market operators that have real estate within their portfolio, either approaching us or trying to replicate what we're doing, because we know that this will actually change how the perception to the REITs market has actually been in terms of returns to shareholders or returns to unit holders, because the RECO structure allows for flexibility in terms of tradability, allows for the liquidity that it affords being given the structure. It also allows for participation across the spectrum further down the line. So we will definitely see changes. We expect oversubscription, and we expect that the market will respond positively, because this is changing. This product actually has a big change and effect on how markets will play going into the future.